Fun until I thought I was going to die. Yo, what's going on? It's someone that's no one, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report is coming from TJ off Earwood. When this happened, 2011. The drug used was MDPV. The route of administration was insufflation. Gender, female. Weight, 150 pounds. Age, 24. Prior experience, stimulants. And the setting, at home for the most part, until they go out to eat. So here we have an MDPV report, which was requested from a subscriber a while back. Now some of you may have no idea what it is, but to put it simply, it's more commonly known under the term bath salts, legal substances sold by gas stations and head shops a time ago. It is most comparable to something like cocaine, but with a longer duration. Ritalin may be a more accurate comparison, but this is considered to be a pretty strong addictive stimulant that can negatively impact your life, and we'll get to see some of that here in this report. I think you guys will like this one, so without further ado, let's dive right into this. We had never heard of MDPV until my brother showed up at my apartment with a very large amount. My boyfriend and I had a lot of experience using drugs of all sorts, especially stimulants, for the sexual benefits. We will try anything once, and as far as MDPV goes, that's all it took. We bought 3.5 grams thinking that would practically last us forever, but like many users of MDPV, we started using it around the clock. It was a lot of fun at first. We had great sex for days and got a lot of cleaning done. About 3 days into our binge, without any food or sleep, we saw a spider, a brown recluse to be exact. Seeing one spider was all it took for us to become spider hunters. We turned our home upside down, searching for these deadly spiders. We think that there were actually a few spiders that we killed, but at the time, we thought they were everywhere and that we were constantly being bit. It is an understatement to say that we turned our house upside down spider hunting because we destroyed it and left it in shambles. It looked as though it was undergoing demolition. Our binge continued into day 7, still without any food or sleep, but a lot of sex and MDPV. That's when our experience began to spin out of control. My boyfriend was convinced that I was having a relationship with someone, that I had a hidden cell phone in my car for top secret phone calls, and that I had even actually stolen some of the MDPV when he dozed off on the couch. FYI, I would never do any of those 3 things. I was certain that I saw my mother dirty dancing in front of my apartment window. We were finally ready to eat on the evening of day 7 and decided to go to a local pizza restaurant for some beer and food. We didn't know it at the time, but we were most definitely not in any condition to be in public. Our paranoia continued in the restaurant, and I am sure we were making a horrific scene and acting like complete psychopaths. We weren't surprised when a police officer walked up to our booth and asked us to follow him into an empty, nearby room. It was then he told us we were under arrest for intoxication. He and every deputy in the jail were amazed at how large our pupils were and the fact we were unable to sit still. We were put into different holding cells, and that's when my real nightmare began. I had severe auditory and visual hallucinations that were out of this world, and looking back, were extremely terrifying. At the time, everything I was seeing seemed so real. I was sitting in a jail cell and was convinced that my entire family was there because my boyfriend and I were going to be married there. I could hear wedding bells and announcements directed to me over the intercom about the wedding. Not to mention, they confiscated my shoes because I was using them to smash spiders I was seeing on the wall and floor. I thought my brother was there to tell me the awesome news that he and I won an internship with Oprah Winfrey for being genius savants, and I was to be released immediately. Looking back now, being that far out of my right state of mind is extremely frightening. I have never experienced anything like MDPV before, and without a doubt, will never ever even think about looking at that devil drug for as long as I live. So we can see from this report here that MDPV can be the real deal concerning stimulants and just drugs in general. Most of the effects line up with most other common stimulants, with some slight and pathogenic effects. There's most physical effects, like an increase in heart rate, suppression in appetite, potential nausea, and overall bodily stimulation are all there. Same goes with the cognitive effects, like having a higher sex drive, faster thoughts, euphoria, to paranoia are there. Now technically, this drug may cause some effects similar to MDMA, but this is thought to be little and to be caused by the high itself rather than carrying base effects like MDMA. It is predominantly a stimulant. But from this report, we can see like other stimulants, mainly stronger ones like meth for example, this similarly can cause addictive tendencies with the ability to cause psychosis and serious judgment alteration. And here, I just want to bring up a couple other stimulant reports to compare and see how MDPV fits in. The first report I want to bring up is our first methamphetamine report by Chronic 311, The Door to True Misery. In this report, Chronic 311 details a binge meth experience after scoring some from a drug bust. He proceeded to consume 2 grams of meth over a weekend period, which eventually landed him up in the hospital. He described having intense paranoia and depression, among many distressing physical effects when he came down, such as a headache, nausea, bad taste, and overall irritability. It even got to the point where he picked his fingernails bloody, threw his phone out the window, and tried to go to school and collapsed in front of an administrator with convulsions. From that, we can see how redosing would be a pleasing option. The other report I want to bring up is Used to Be Fun, Now I'm a Paranoid Freak by K, where they consume cocaine. Now a portion of my viewers here on this video thought this was cocaine cut with amphetamine, partially because of the length of the experience and also some of the effects. But this report mainly highlights how paranoia from a stimulant can be. The user thought people were there when they weren't, or fearing that people were breaking in. It shows how the drug starts off fun, but slowly becomes a nightmare. But we're going to leave it there for today. If you guys did like this report and want to see more stimulants, let me know in the comments below, and we'll get to it. If you did like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, follow the socials. It's been Someone That's Known, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.